Hey, it's Mike. Happy Sunday. Back, obviously, doing this. I'm gonna break this up into two videos. Make it easier on myself and get a video out and ready for Monday as well. This is my weekly Clearing the Bases episode where I cover all the things that either didn't make it into their own videos, but in this case, some things that would have if I had been home and available, like the Kurt's Card Care stuff, I would have covered in its own video, and there are quite a few things in here. But I'm excited to do this, and this one I didn't want to have it take an hour, so I'm breaking it up into two different videos, and I hope you enjoy. Let me know in comments any thoughts you have about any of these items, and you see another one tomorrow. Here we go. Let's get started. First of all, of course, my Clearing the Bases episode, which features a bunch of vintage cards, is sponsored by Just Collect. Just Collect, led by Leighton Sheldon, is one of the top buyers of vintage cards and collections in the country. You can fill out their free appraisal form right here on their website and get an estimate or an appraisal from them of what they might pay, or you can email Leighton directly at leighton@justcollect.com for an offer. I actually have a subscriber who is doing that right now. So excited to hear how that goes. Let's jump into a little Twitter before we move into some auctions. This was the biggest topic of the week. And I was away and I wasn't watching any YouTube. I wasn't doing anything. I was only keeping up with Twitter. I could log into Twitter for 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there when we were in between events and things like that on my vacation. And this thread here, started by Tiffany Cards, was one of the most toxic threads I've ever been involved in. And you can see I'm tagged here. So I was notified about everything. And you guys, if you disagree with people, you don't need to call them names. You can move on. I know I've said this before. It's crazy to me how awful people are to each other. I'm not going to go through the tweets, but here's what happened. So Kurt's Card Care at some point must have shown his Jackie Robinson 1953 tops, and Tiffany Card says 52 here, but he quickly corrects himself and says 53 in a follow-up tweet. And he had soaked it, and there's a video of him soaking it. You can see here a video of him soaking it. It came back a PSA 2.5. So Tiffany Cards posted on April 13th asking PSA, is it okay? Is it acceptable by PSA standards? And according to their terms of condition, terms of service, it is not acceptable. And so Tiffany Cards just said, hey, why are you accepting these? And then less than a week later, tiffanycards.com says that it was deactivated. And here's the cert number. I don't know where Tiffany Cards got this cert number. It's kind of impressive, I guess, that he was able to find this cert number, because I think if I remember, if I heard correctly, Kurt hides his cert numbers when he's showing photos and videos smartly, by the way. And so then it was deactivated, and then later on revealed that all of the cards, his entire submission has been deactivated. And TiffanyCards.com later reveals what all of the cards in that submission were. Okay, so there's a lot to this. I'm going to move on, but I'm going to keep that open. By the way, I've been clear. My stance is that I don't want my cards to be cleaned because I worry about what cleaned with solvents anyway, with whatever types of chemicals or whatever. I don't know, and I don't know enough about cleaning, but I worry about what happens to them later on down the road. Sure, today they look great. Next month they look great. But in 2030, 2035, are they still going to look great, or are they going to kind of return to their original state? Will they yellow over time? We just don't know. And that's what bothers me about the cleaning of cards as Kurt does it. If PSA can't detect it, then I don't know what we're doing here. Why do they ban it? Why are they deactivating it after? Just because they've found it? Somebody had to tell them, hey, this was cleaned. Why is it banned if they can't detect it? And I know I get you can ban something even if you don't know it's happening, and you hope that people will be honest. But why can't PSA detect it? Is this like one of those things where they need to hire Kurt to go in and teach them how to detect it? Like the FBI would hire safecrackers or whatever. Yeah, probably going off of too many 1990s movies on that. So in Stay Free, I don't know who this person is, says decades from now, the altered cards that got through will probably have discoloration on them due to the crap people put on it using the product. And that's kind of my concern here. Uh, Neo says, my issue is they still can't detect. Some don't draw the line on what to desert. Just stuff on video that you match up. What about the one of one Wemby? Why does that one get a pass? And I covered that a few weeks ago where I don't remember who the people were that they were in PSA's lobby and they got a 10 of 10 on a 10 on the one of one Wemby, and they shouted out Kurt's Card Care, saying thanks Kurt's Card Care, but that one got a pass. It did not get decertified. So card purchaser who I think skews young, I have to assume this is young and inexperienced people following card purchaser, because a lot of people tweet at him asking what I would consider fairly basic questions about the hobby. Like they're just getting back into the hobby or just getting into the hobby for the first time. So he asked, do you think PSA should allow people to use Kurt's Card Care products on cards before grading? And half of the respondents, 1,800 people roughly, said yes, they think Kurt's Card Care products should be allowed to be used. Only a quarter of people said no. The rest said they don't know what Kurt's Card Care is. And card purchaser says I assume it's a he, would prefer his cards without it. I would love to, if I had a bigger audience with poll, with the ability to poll them, I would love to know if I had 3,600 people I could poll that are into vintage. I bet this would flip at least, where it would be at least half say no and a quarter say yes, or less. And I think that you'd find that there's more who know what this is. What do you think about this? This is my primary topic for this week. And I'm going to move on here in a moment, but I'm really curious what your thoughts are on this. I'll have more on this in my newsletter. My newsletter right here, actually. Let's just bring this up. My newsletter now is at www.junkwaxhero.com. And I know here it says junkwaxhero.com, but you can't type that in for some reason yet. I have to fix that. www.junkwaxhero.com is where my newsletter is, and now my website, and I'll be fixing this up. And yeah, I'm excited about that. So go subscribe to that. It's the free Monday weekly sports card and collectibles newsletter. I will cover this more, the cleaning stuff more on there as well. All right, let's jump into some big auctions. Just looking at REA, Robert Edward Auctions. 1954 Topps Hank Aaron rookie card, PSA 9. Current bid at $330,000. That's a pretty nice card. I'd be happy with a 1. 1993 Upper Deck Foil SP Jeter Gem Mint 10, currently at $260,000. And I wondered, what has that gone for before? Is that nearing a high? In public auctions, the high was actually $600,000, almost exactly 2 years ago via Golden. And you can see, like, there were 2 right around $500,000, and then 400,000 in 2021, 360,000 in 2021, and then this one at Golden that shot up to 600,000, and then it dropped just 4 months later, 3 months later, to half that. Interesting. All right, moving on. Michael Jordan's final shoes sold for $482,000. signed by Jordan. I love these scores. The Bulls lost to the Sonics that night, 89-78, but wrapped up the fourth title of Jordan's career. 89-78 is like end of the third quarter, maybe now. More importantly, we have this card, which I actually have the auction open for. Where do I have that? Let's just go to that right now. Here it is. This is the 2003-4 Upper Deck Ultimate Collection Ultimate Logos Signature Michael Jordan signed game used Logo Man patch card. 1 of 1. It is PSA authentic. There's some questions about why it's authentic. My guess is that the seller knew he had a banger, or she, and sent it in and said, I just want it to be authentic, because a 9 or an 8 or a 7 would detract from the card. But game used, pretty awesome. And he's in a Bulls uniform. This is currently at 1.7 million with buyer's premium. This is expected to go for many millions of dollars. This ends in 42 days. It's on Golden. It's in the Golden 100 or something like that. Some big sale through Golden. All right, let's go back here. Top 1968 Topps baseball set on PSA registry sells for $1.1 million. Look at this. Willie Mays, 10. Hank Aaron, 10. Clemente, 10. Yikes. That is crazy. And then you've got this precious metal gems. PSA 5 sold for $304,000. 1997 Metal Universe. Yeah, pretty cool. Topps USA Bobby Orr test card, PSA 8.5, sold for where was it? Oh yeah, here we go. A record price, $72,000. Pretty cool. And then this Michael Jordan Stefano Trieste, 1985. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. I'm actually learning Italian on Duolingo, but I'm not very good at it. 1985 game worn and signed shattered backboard jersey. And I had to look up this video. I didn't remember this. I don't think I've ever seen the video of Jordan shattering a backboard. And somehow this is like an iconic moment in his career. Yeah. Sold for a lot. I had this. Why? It must have refreshed and logged me out. It was a lot of money. Trust me on that. Let's pause here and I'll get it. All right. I found out it was actually $571,500, which I have confirmed is a lot of money. Then we have Mile High auctions. This is, we've already covered this. Sorry. A little messy today. A little out of practice, one might say. Then we're on to this kind of interesting post here. East Coast, West Coast, Best Coast. Well, the experiment is over, and I think I failed at it or I didn't do it right. Bought a lot of eBay, Twitter, and COMC stuff to grade, and it all looked pretty good before I sent it. But here's the results. Far too many 8s, which are here. And some of the best stuff I thought could gem sadly came up 9. And then here's your 10s pile. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to look at cards and say, this is a 10. It's hard. I feel for this person, and I think this is a good lesson learned for people out there. There are people who have a great eye for grading. I have a decent eye for grading vintage, but I look at cards that look like 10s to me, and it's so hard to tell the difference between an ultra modern 9 and an ultra modern 10, in my opinion. Curious what you guys think. All right, Paul Lesko. Okay, so PWCC, most expensive Wembanyama card of all time, sold for over $500,000. This is the 2023 Prism Black Shimmer, first off the line, 1 of 1, PSA 9. sold for $516,000. Paul Lesko writes, or, and hear me out, you could get these four and have $200,000 left over. And these four are Mickey Mantle 52 Tops PSA 4s, and those are two of them, and then two 1933 Gaudy Babe Ruths. That seems pretty reasonable to me. Paul says over here, he loves Wembanyama. So do I. I think Wembanyama has the potential, that's the key word, to be an all-time great. He had one of the greatest rookie seasons in NBA history, but he's got 15 years ahead of him. Anything can happen. How many guys have we seen come out in their rookie year and we go, oh man, this is going to be amazing. Look at Zion, for instance. Look at any number of people in baseball too. Anything can go wrong. I would happily take Gaudy Ruths and 52 Tops Mantles at this point. Now, you have much more of an upside on the Wemby in all likelihood, because that could be worth many millions of dollars down the road. But it may also not be, because there are so many Wembanyama rookie cards. A lot to think about. And then Paul comes back later on and says, okay, I figured out how I'd spend it. These 41 cards get me to $516,000. And there's Wembanyama in there also. And he has in here like a Jerry Rice rookie. It's pretty blurry. Jerry Rice rookie. We have an Ernie Banks rookie, Bob Gibson rookie, Joe Namath rookie. These are all rookies. Al Kaline, Jackie Robinson's not a rookie. This is his 52, but we've got a couple Ty Cobbs, Sandy Koufax, Walter Payton, Oscar Robertson. I would happily take this over the Wembanyama, and I'm curious what you think about this. And I've got a Jordan 86 Fleer. All right, this is crazy to me. Somebody posted in a big Facebook group, according to this, and I saw earlier what Facebook group it was in, and I'm not in that Facebook group, so I didn't see the post, but Neo shared this and thought about this, and I'm ready to pull the trigger. I'm looking to expand my team. I'm offering a $150,000 base pay to anyone who is confident they can buy $40,000 to $60,000 a week worth of cards at close to 80% using my capital, 80% of comps. Think you can spend $70,000 to $100,000 a week? I'll pay you $250,000 a year. And then he's got this weird non sequitur here. If you are a hard worker with a good reputation, let's talk. It doesn't take a hard worker and a good reputation, although a good reputation is good and hard worker is good. It takes knowledge of cards to do this. I have 5 to 8 positions open. Goal is to be buying a constant $1 to $1.3 million a week. And 5 to 8 times, let's say, $70,000 a week doesn't get you to $1 to $1.3 million. So maybe he just means he's looking to ramp up to that eventually. Then he says flights and expenses are paid for as well. PM me or Joe, looking for sharp, hardworking guys who are already doing decent volume. I'm talking Roth Cards hustle. So he wants to buy $50,000 to $100,000 a week. He wants one person, and he wants to have 5 to 8 of these people buy $50,000 to $100,000 worth of sports cards per week, so he can flip them and churn through, which is really fascinating to me. I know a guy. I talked to him at the National last year, who took this job last summer, doing this very thing. I doubt it's for this person, but it's a repacker. So he's going around to card shows all over the country, or his area of the country, and just buying up sports cards at like 80 to 90% of comps. And then his boss, the company he works for, is then repacking them into, like basically a repack break type thing. It's a really fascinating process. I wonder how long you can make this work. Like, is this something? This is really good pay, by the way. $150,000. Are they including benefits in here? $250,000 a year. That's crazy. It sounds like fun, maybe? I don't know. I was thinking about this. Like, would this be fun or would it just be work? And you're just buying up tables. And I know obviously it's work, but would it just be work or would it also be fun? I kind of lean on it not being fun, but I'm curious what you think. I think I'd have a blast for a week and then I'd be like, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. And this is why I have, well, I mean, I can't do this full time, do what I do full time, but I wouldn't want to because I wouldn't want this to become a job. I like it as a hobby, and this is fun as a hobby. Even though I make some money doing it, it's still a hobby to me. Speaking of the spending a lot of money hoping to make a lot more, this person, Big Poppy, again, I don't know who this is either. Just opened a case of 2024 Topps Chrome Black, which I love as a product. This is an absolute disaster. Wow, maybe $200 of cards from a $2,000 case. I'm the reason they are profitable. Why do they do this to myself? Just stick to flagship. Yeah. Um, breaking cards, breaking boxes is a risk. It's a gamble. It's tough. It can pay off. But I was in Las Vegas last week and I I wanted to teach my kids a lesson on gambling. And so I dropped a $20 bill into a slot machine and it was gone in under a minute. Just gone. It was the perfect lesson. Uh, all right. Fred Lynn, my guy, Fred Lynn, Red Sox semi legend, signing cards for 2024 Topps Stadium Club. They look great. Uh, oh yeah, this was the other one I wanted to show after the Jordan. Here's another one in golden. 1957 Mickey Mantle MVP season, game used, photo matched, New York Yankees home jersey. Uh, it's currently at 457.5 with buyer's premium. Again, with 6 weeks to go. All right, Tops. What are we doing here? This is Hagen, I think. Hagen Danner. Somebody was selling this card for 75 cents, and somebody must have tagged Hagen Danner. And he says, definitely not even close to being me. What do we got, Tops? Told you guys it wasn't me, and still released. So they must have sent him cards to sign, and he responded to them saying, these aren't me. And they still released them. Yeah. Uh, oops, I guess. Primetime, I don't know who this is either. So sorry to Primetime, but he posts some interesting things. Had multiple people 1 hour into a 4-day show offer to buy entire showcases at 80%. This is the whole repacker thing that I was talking about a minute ago. And he said no. So he's 1 hour into a 4-day show, and people come up to him and say, "We'll buy everything for 80% of comps." Now, who comps it? There's a lot of questions there. But if they come to 80% of what you want, why wouldn't you sell all of it? And I'm curious what you think here. Now, there are a lot of reasons not to. Of course, I understand. You're building relationships. You enjoy being at shows. You can make 100%. You can make 110% of comps, 120% by selling it all one at a time. So there's a lot of reasons. But I'm curious what your thoughts are. Uh, he did not do it. So yeah, some fun stuff here at the end. I always like to close out with some fun stuff. 68 Tops 3D, Roberto Clemente, PSA 10. There are 6 of these. This is a preview of an upcoming Heritage Auctions auction. Um, yeah, and there are, let me see, only 12 of these total, but 6 came back a 10, I think, if I remember correctly. Yeah, just a cool card, in my opinion. Speaking of cool cards, what a classic. Griffey, Mantle, both autographed. It's a shame it's in this with this old label. I think this is old. It looks old anyway, but a card I would love to have. with any slab. Give it to me. It's currently at $6,000. All right, now I'm not a Topps Now guy. I've bought one Topps Now card. I'm also not really into gimmicks, and I'm not really into Gronk either, even as a New England guy. But I thought this was hilarious, and I would love to have it. If you haven't seen it already, Gronk went to throw out the first pitch of the Red Sox game last week, and instead of throwing the ball, he spiked it, like his classic spikes, touchdown spike of the football. And it was really funny. You can see him doing it here. Topps was right there, of course, ready to take a picture, or they bought the picture from somebody. And even the ball's in it. It's perfect. And then they got him to autograph it, and it's now a Topps Now card. That's a card I would love to have. Yeah, awesome. Awesome stuff. Let me know what you think. I got this down to 26-ish minutes, and I'll put out another one Monday. All right. Hope you all have a great weekend, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks.